Well, good evening, everybody. We are moments away from the first of two conference championships here in Autumn Wind as we are rounding out our 2019-2020 season. This is Friday night's contest. This is Friday, February 19th, in the year 2021. So we are in the final four of our Autumn Wind 17th season on the road to what we call the Ooper Bowl. And we're going to have the AFC contest tonight. Tomorrow we'll host the NFC contest. That's going to be between the Seattle Seahawks and the Dallas Cowboys. But tonight we are talking about the New England Patriots, who are hosting the Philadelphia Eagles. The game is about to kick off here in just a couple minutes as soon as they send the number. So a little bit of information about both these two teams. Philadelphia is the Autumn Wind runner-up from the previous season. They played in Ooper Bowl 16, losing to the Dallas Cowboys 26-7. They're coached by Dave Szymanski, who has been in this Autumn Wind format league. We'll tell you a little bit about the league in its entirety. It's got longer roots. It's got deeper roots than basically the 17 seasons of online play. And we'll talk a little bit about that. But Szymanski's been here for all 17 of those seasons. And he is one of the most prolific coaches that we have in this league, winning 2/3 of his games, basically, close to it, about 65% winning percentage over that time. And him making the playoffs is kind of like us breathing air. He's made the playoffs 12 out of 17 seasons. This guy has been remarkably consistent. An excellent coach. And to be honest, this is maybe one of the poorest years he's had in the past 4 or 5 seasons. He's basically had double-digit wins pretty consistently for the past several seasons. This season basically wound up 9-7, doesn't have much of a point differential, barely scored over 300 points, but he's such an exceptional coach that he was able to take a team that maybe just an average club, and he finds himself one game away from repeat conference championships with the opportunity to play in the Ooper Bowl championship here. Again, this is the 17th season. He tonight will be facing off against Jeff Smith, who had an outstanding season, 12-4 this year. Now, Philadelphia plays in what's called the Walsh division. They were the number 5 seed in the AFC this year. The Patriots were the number 3 seed, but they played better than a 3 seed. This team was 12-4, and they played in a tough conference that had the Houston Texans, who finished 15-1. They lost to the Texans twice, home and road, but they only lost by a combined 7 points. And their only other 2 losses was against Los Angeles, who finished with a 13-3 record, and Southern California, which is also in their division. They did have a couple of nice signature wins this year against playoff clubs, including Oakland and the New Orleans Saints. And what is interesting about this club, their point differential this year was 190 points. There were only 2 teams in the entire league that had higher point differentials of 190 points, and that was the Rams, and that was Houston. So this is a sneaky good club at a number 3 seed that's got excellent offense and a very fine defense. So Philadelphia is going to have their work cut out for them. But again, Philadelphia has looked very good in their 2 playoff games. So we're going to see basically a wild card team is going to make it to the Autumn Wind Championship from the AFC side. Again, they're coached by Jeff Smith, who's been in this league for 8 years, and this is his 2nd appearance in the playoffs. Szymanski has been in the playoffs 12 times. He has been in the Ooper Bowl 1 time, and that's last year. So he's defending conference champion. His club also had a nice win against Oakland, which I believe won 11 games this year, and they also beat the Saints too. So both of these clubs were able to beat a couple of playoff teams this year. So very soon they're going to flash the number up here, and we will get this broadcast started. We'll go back to the booth and see if anybody else is in, wants to join us. I knew Nathan was going to be here. Hey, Nathan, how you doing? There you are. Want to make sure I think I got your mic on. And they have given us the number. So we're going to jump in here right now. Well, no wonder. I wondered. I've got one of the best coaches here, and there he goes. Now we got him. Or now are you in? So I'm still getting used to this technology here.
Me
Larry
too.
will join us here in a little bit. How you doing, Nathan?
Pretty good.
All right. All right. So you heard a little bit about what I was talking about, pretending I know what I'm talking about here. But 9-7 club, looking for back-to-back opportunity here in the Autumn Wind Championship. And Jeff Smith has been in the league for 8 years, and he has his first shot at an Uber Bowl appearance. And I noticed he played you twice this year, but both those games were not easy wins. They were 3-point win and a 4-point win.
Yeah, those might have been tougher games, and even my losses, they were really, really, really close the whole time.
Yeah. I played him and won 20-9, but it was a struggle. And he turned the ball over 4 times in the contest. Carr threw 3 picks, and he was a strip fumble as well.
Yeah, I know in our second game, I had to get a guest right on the goal line to take the lead. Otherwise, I probably would have just been kicking a field goal to tie it late in the game. I got a roll for like 4 yards, just right.
Well, I basically wrote some things down here. I may sneak back and take a look at it, but I would have to think that Carr, if he didn't have the best quarterback season, he certainly had one of the best. 30 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 4,000 yards, and that's kind of hard to get in a league like this without the dump-off rule. So he put together some really, really good numbers. He's got a good running back in Carson with 1,500 yards. He split his receptions over 5 different guys. We'll talk about that here in just a little bit. But there's your kickoff. New England will kick it off to Philadelphia. So they will start out with the ball, 1st and 10 at their 25. This is the AFC Championship, pitting 9-7 Philadelphia against 12-4 New England. The winner will go to Uber Bowl 17 and will face off against the winner between the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks, and that will take place tomorrow afternoon. Let's put some cards up here. Here's an off-tackle run for Kamara. Defense guesses pass. Off-tackle run, no one was there. And on the first run, Kamara busts off a big one. He gets that high number on his card, 28-yard pickup for Kamara. And on the first play from scrimmage, they made their way into Patriot territory with the ball at the 47-yard line. Of the 4 teams remaining, we talked about this a little earlier, the Eagles have the smallest point differential of all the clubs, maybe 30, 40 points. They only scored 310 in the regular season. There's an inside run, and that's a loss of 1 on the play, 2nd down and 11. The Philadelphia is led by Kirk Cousins, 21 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, 3,500 yards. We'll see Kamara and we'll see Pollard, at least in the regular season we did. But if I recall, I think this is the club that has TJ Yeldon. So in short yardage situations, they'll check him in. Pollard hasn't rushed the ball. I've covered them twice now in 2 wildcard games or 2 playoff games, and Pollard didn't get too many carries. I believe in the last game, though, I think he busted a 41-yard run in the previous game. Both he and Kamara had runs over 40 yards. Hunter Henry is his main target there, 101 catches on the season. He's going to go deep for Kyle Juszczyk. Defense guesses pass. And that pass is incomplete. So that'll bring up 3rd down. So 3 wide set, he'll go with a fullback. So Juszczyk is guarded by a what? Oh, it's
Zero.
split a 0. That's right.
Unless he swaps him out, which he did a lot of against Fant when I played him.
Okay.
It looks like he left him in, though.
So 3rd and 11. First possession of this AFC championship.
And when New England goes to a nickel, their strong safety becomes a 5 from a 4, so that's nice.
That's nice. Very nice. So he's going to go to his lead target for the season, Hunter Henry, but the pass rush is going to get him. Let's see who that sack was. That was
Cameron Jordan.
19 sacks on the season for Cameron Jordan. That's quite a big number for a guy who but now was he an asterisk pass rusher?
I think he's got an asterisk, yeah.
I think he was. I get him mixed up with Cameron Hayward. Yeah, so Cameron Jordan, 19 sacks this year. New England had 36 on the season. That puts them top 6, top 7. So after that big, chunky run by Kamara, New England will set up shop at their own 37. They defeated Tampa Bay for the right to play in this championship. We'll talk a little bit about that game here in just a little bit. There's a pass to Hooper. Guessed right. It's on Hooper's card. The pass is incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Let's see that final score.
So Dave called an overwhelming amount of pass on first downs a lot this year and against me in our playoff game, but he'll definitely, it's in a 3 wide. I was going to say if he's in the regular formation, he called an awful lot of run on 2nd and long.
Mm-hmm. The 3 wide, I guess, is what he ran every single play against me that I recall. I mean, it's been a few months, but Boyd, DK, Fitzgerald. Boyd had 100 catches for this club this year. The rest of the guys are anywhere between 60 and 70. There's a quick look for Hooper. That'll pick up 4. So now it's 3rd and 6. Flat pass would be in play now. They beat Tampa Bay 31-17. That game got kind of iffy because on consecutive punts, New England's punt returner muffed a couple of punts that gave Tampa short fields somewhere inside the 15, maybe the 20. And yeah, that's right. And Tampa Bay was able to get a couple of scores. I think that may have actually tied it, or maybe it was they may have tied it actually there. And then New England came down, drove for a touchdown, got another score. No problem. That's the kind of game where you're not much you can do about that when you basically hand the other club 14 points. But to put 31 on a team like Tampa that has a really, really tough defense, that was impressive. There's a deep shot, guessed right, to DK, and that is going to be a completion on Derek Carr's card. Big pickups on a 3 and a 10, so not a super card, but he'll take it. So now the ball resting at the 29. It's 1st and 10. Jeff Smith looking for his first appearance in the Uber Bowl. This is season 17 of Autumn Wind in its electronic format. And there's another deep shot. He says, so nice, let's try it twice, but that pass falls to the turf, and it's 2nd down and 10. See if anybody else is in the lobby. Not yet. So the 3 wide set that we will see a bunch. All those receivers that you see, all of them had in the 70s. Boyd had 100 catches. There's a sideline pass to Fitzgerald. No man in the zone, and it's a pickup of 9. So now it's 3rd and 1. The ball at the 20-yard line. So on the benefit of that 30-yard pass from Carr to Metcalf, definitely in scoring range. See if they can pick up this first down. 3rd and 1. So they have switched to an I formation. That's Sherman in the backfield, fullback. Checks in for Fitzgerald. That's Carson back there, 1,500 yards on the season, 5.4 yards per carry. Defense guesses run. That's a quick pass to Boyd, who, Nathan, looks like a maxed out card, doesn't it?
Yep.
But he finds the gap. So now decision time for New England. And apparently there's no decision here. He's just going to put the points on the board, or at least try to. So this is a 37-yard field goal attempt, and it is good. So Koo kicks it through, and the Patriots take a 3-0 lead. Interesting decision to not to go for it there on 4th down. What do you think, Nathan?
Well, he doesn't have any great, I don't know, doesn't have a great matchup downfield in that 3-4. You can do exactly what he did there, say run and stuff, fill the zones. And I like to go for it there, but I also haven't been playing with an excellent good defense. So
right,
when you have an excellent good defense and you don't get any points up, lots of times you're just better off taking the points.
Okay. So he's looking for Henry. I think that's the second time he's thrown his way. Pass falls incomplete. 2nd down and 10. So New England this year, 408 points, only allowed 218. That has to be top 5.
It's going to be probably only behind like Dallas.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
Yeah, there's a few clumped in around 215, 220, 230,
That's
but that's definitely
bomb.
top 5. There's a deep shot, and that is caught and hauled down finally. So a big, big pickup there, 66 yards on the play, and they have made their way into New England territory for the second time. To Devin Smith, who's got that fluky card, basically. I think he only had maybe 6-7 catches on the season, but I believe he's a 5 deep out of 6.
He seems to be the bomb for him.
In multiple leagues. I've seen him in multiple leagues, and you think, who in the world's Devin Smith? And then you realize he's one of those only deep threat targets, basically. Now he'll check out and they'll put Cole in. Here's a pass to Fuller, and that one's incomplete. So New England, not sure what hit him there. Did you see, was that just a straight up pass, or was it a 0 men in zone?
I just know it was guessed wrong.
Okay.
He was probably just saying run and sitting back.
Okay.
But he rolled Kirk Cousins has a really good card. He's been one of the best strat quarterbacks for every year, pretty much since he started.
2nd and goal, ball at the 9. Eagles on their second drive on the doorstep here, trailing 3-0 to the Patriots.
And Cousins is also one of those quarterbacks that you don't get it from a lot of the top 10 guys, where they have a deadly flat along with the other stuff that's good too. Like Breeze has it, but like Mahomes doesn't, and Russell Wilson doesn't have it,
So Yeldon is checked in the game, and he is the target on this play. 4 men in zone. That pass is incomplete. So now it is 3rd down. Let's see who's guarding Yeldon when he checks in. So when he has a fullback in, it would be Montez Sweat. So we're going to see him again, actually. Now Juszczyk is back in, so that's Montez Sweat who will be sticking him. Oops, he moved. Kendricks. Running backs are guarded by a 4-4.
I'd like to show down here just because it deters throwing to that fullback a little bit, especially if it's covered by a 0.
You said that again, please?
I'd like to see him show blitz down in the goal line because it deters throwing to use check a little bit.
Yes.
The guy covered by the 0.
Gotcha. Okay. That's a good point.
Although maybe he has an asterisk on the line already. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Jordan would be an asterisk on the line. You're correct. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. It was so it would just deter him a little bit more because of the frequency that it would come up. But that's a pretty good matchup if he throws to him. The 5's going to get the auto sack.
To Paul Richardson, the little used Paul Richardson. But you know what? Paul Richardson says, I'm going to hold this one in. And he does so for a touchdown, and New England now trails 6-3. And with this extra point that is kicked through, it's now 7-3. So Devin Smith, the early hero in this one. Or the Eagles, who are looking to get back to the Super Bowl for the second time in a row. Losers last year to the Dallas Cowboys, 26-7. Dallas is in the Final Four and will face off against the Seattle Seahawks tomorrow. New England Patriots, 12-4, coached by Jeff Smith. Looking for his first trip to the championship. 17 seasons. This is the 17th year. So 3 wide set. We see 3-3-5. Sideline pass to Fitzgerald. Incomplete. Our completion percentage this year was around 65, 66. That's also kind of unusual for autumn wind without that dump off. So I'm guessing a lot of flats.
Well, you got to remember, it's not like a dump off in a 24-team league because you're going to have 4s and 0s all over the field in a lot of these games, and especially regular season. So while it's not as beneficial to teams with the good lines and a great flat pass cards like Carr and Cousins, they'll still make a lot more plays on the D cards than you'd probably see in another league.
Okay.
And if he's running the 3 wide, he's got to be throwing a lot of flat passes. I'm sure that's part of it.
Again, it's been a long time since I played him. You played him twice. That's what I seem to see. He just caught some really bad breaks against me. I doubled a guy correctly, wild guess, maybe 2 in the zone, got one of those weird picks, but I know one of them was a 2 to 3 flat pass, and then we got him on a strip sap. So, I mean, I led a charmed season this year in turnover differential. When I didn't turn my opponent over, it was pretty much.
Well, one thing Autumn does have that's also favorable is they do use the emphasized 6 linebacker. And that's going to benefit the flat passers, even though it's kind of hosing them on the dump offs.
Yeah. So 3rd and 10, looking for Boyd, and that's complete on Carr's card. So move the chains for the Patriots. 1st and 10 at their own 38. We're just past the midway point here of the first quarter. New England 12-4 on the season, trailing 9-7 Philadelphia. Philadelphia looking to get back to the title for the 2nd consecutive season. New England looking for their first trip to the Super Bowl. Three wide set. We'll be saying that a lot. Here comes the inside run. The 4 is able to make, 4 wide dive 4, basically. Nose tackle is able to make that play, so it's now 2nd down and 8. That's all he needed is a nose tackle 4.
That was actually a guard on that play.
Oh, you're right. I saw the nose tackle readings. Thanks for clearing that up. Let's see, nose tackle, nose tackle, nose tackle. It's funny. I talked a good game about being aggressive against Dallas, and didn't blitz like enough. I felt like there's so many things I wish I could have done in that game, but I mean, whatever, I'm over it. But this new team that I've got in SSFA, man, I've just about lost my marbles. I'm just blitzing like there's no tomorrow when you got, Barrett and you got Aaron Donald, and it's a nice learning experience to basically just let them eat, man. That's what I do.
Good call. See, this is what I'm talking about on second and long. Dave calls a lot of run. I think he called it there, even against the 3 wide, against the run draw.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, I just had struggle running 3 wide with a run with that one, just slipping you right out.
If New England wants to run, he can run all he wants on first down from a regular formation. Now, going to 3 wide, he does get him to put his nose tackle 4 in, which is kind of a wash as far as what's going to happen to his lineman getting dropped, especially since his right guard's already a 0.
Right.
So he's gaining a little there. He just has that automatic guess right on 1, which, on his card, which is actually a big deal because, like, I don't think Dave's called much run on first down at all this year. He kind of sets you up for that. He wants to keep you in the 3rd and 5+.
Yes. There's a screen. White dice 6 there, so it's a 10-yard pickup and another first down.
And that roll right there is one of those things when we were talking about the pass rush and you're saying you're just bringing guys. A lot of people, if you actually sit down and look at all the things that happen, that right there, that roll right there, that's a third of the time. It doesn't matter if you had a guy there or not, or we're blitzing him.
Correct.
You gotta blitz the guy,
Absolutely, and it's funny, but that broadcast made a real difference. There were all sorts of good tips. I listened to it. I mean, it hurts to listen to a loss, but there was a couple of cool things that I picked up in it, especially when he was running the
full house.
Oh yeah, I was like, oh Michael, how could you miss that?
Well, it's little things. I mean, even when I'm playing, I click sometimes so fast I just do things, second nature.
Yeah,
and it's going to happen. Or if you have a backup that you want in situationally, you'll bypass it all the time. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you have to really think about sometimes.
You leave a running back in there when you needed somebody that could block.
Well, maybe I end up leaving Valdez-Scantling in on a goal line or inside the 20. It's like, well, what's the point of that? The guy's not catch a short pass like anyone. His explosiveness doesn't matter.
Exactly. I've got Slayton on that team, and so it's a weird setup where I've got Slayton on one side and Jarvis Landry on the other, and Keenan Allen's on the bench, and he only comes out in 3 wide sets. Or if you're inside the 20, you kick Slayton out and you put Allen in. So that's the second time in a row that he's hit that double-digit game.
Having success on the B card running.
Yes, he is. So if I remember, Saminsky, I have to look back at his thing. I should have wrote that down. Is he good average, or have I got it backward on him? We could probably eyeball it.
He's average good.
Average good.
Linebackers are pretty weak run rating wise.
Okay, yeah, and there it is. You can see it now. Second down and 10. This is New England's second possession, I believe. We got 3 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. They're trailing 7-3. Both of these clubs have had a few explosive plays. Kamara with a big run over 20 yards. Devin Smith with a 60-yard reception, somewhere around there. DK Metcalf with a 30-yard pickup. 3rd down and 5 after that 5-yard pickup. Ball resting at the 13. See if anybody else is in.
Sorry, I'm late.
Hey, Larry, how are you doing?
Doing well, thanks.
Good. Everybody, this is the commissioner of Autumn Wind, Larry Davis, and also the head coach of the Green Bay Packers.
Losers this year.
Well, all 3 of us are, technically. Right, join the club. It's not exclusive, so 3rd and 5, ball resting on the 13th.
He threw his 5-0 back in there. He actually calls a lot of run on this down and distance too.
Okay.
Although I don't know. I'm talking about the defense. I don't know how much Jeff ran it on this. A lot of coaches do run it quite a bit here. I've run it quite a bit from 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6.
Successfully, too.
Sometimes those matchups, I mean, especially if your line's a little better, this isn't a great line, obviously, for it. But
well, and he's shotgun, so really the only thing he's got is that inside pass to Metcalf, complete, 11 yards, first down, ball at the 2. So that's on Carr's card again. The Patriots are in business here. That's Duke Johnson in the backfield.
Carson's got a nice combo of guest right runs, I think.
Yeah.
And obviously Carr, even from the 2, you could the quarterback.
What is his center there? Okay. So everybody's at least elevated to a 5 here. Four on that side. 6 there. Okay. Off tackle run, and that's a loss of 2. He went with Duke Johnson there, keyed successfully.
It's pretty rough running off ball against a 3-4 when you know there's going to be 2 men in zone. Although maybe he assumed there was going to be a key, and that is probably the least likely guy to get keyed.
Correct.
That was a nice call by Dave, and that's probably what he was trying to avoid.
Although 2nd and goal from the 4 is pretty manageable still.
Oh, yeah. I think Dave called quite a bit of run keys down in the goal line against me, too.
Yeah, that is a heck of a call because either one of those 2 cards, Carson or Carr on their card, that probably would have been a score or would have been a really good chance. But not only does he key him, but he loses 2 on the play. 2nd down and 4. 1:30 on a running clock here in the first quarter. New England trailing 7-3 to the Philadelphia Eagles, who's trying to get back to the Uber Bowl for the 2nd consecutive season.
This game means a lot to Jeff Smith.
Yes, no doubt.
He
100%.
runs a baseball league I'm in, and he's put it on hold pending this game. So it's pretty funny.
Well, he's hoping everybody has to wait 1 more week.
Yes.
Boy, the privilege to play in the Uber Bowl, but knowing full well who those next 2 opponents could potentially be.
Nathan can tell you that's the fun challenge, isn't it? Taking on Mark or taking on Dennis.
Yep.
Yeah, those are extremely tough coaches. And Mark's team looks like a nightmare to me. I mean, you really don't see anything that you, at least against Dennis's team, I can see some things I could try, you know.
Well, it's times like this that make me wonder if the game is frozen. Or maybe we can instill the 45-second clock. Do you see new number maybe or?
No, someone was asking if there's a weather delay though.
Yeah, that's John
Move
Baldwin.
that box and see if they're chatting.
Oh yeah. Nope.
Nice call.
Good call. Yeah, got that. That's been established. Well, wait a second. Here you go. Did you send a new number, question mark? Jeff Smith just sent a note saying that he said, just let me know when you're ready to start. Oh, wait, that was a message from a long time ago. I'm sorry. Maybe he did throw a new number in there. That was a message from half hour ago.
It's usually when I get my wife's text about a half hour after I leave the grocery store.
Yeah, I see the 7:03 p.m. one, but I don't see anything since.
No, I wrote him accidentally, basically saying if they change numbers. He said, no, it's the same. So I'm not sure what's going on here.
Of course, I'm just watching the game through the broadcast screen. I suppose I could try and connect to it separately.
Mm.
Are either you guys connected to? Well, obviously you are, Michael, but
No, sir.
I'm not.
Yeah, I wonder if
trade
something.
offer.
Well, I'm going to hop out and hop back in. There's no way that this would be taking this long. So I'm sure we've lost some on this.
All right. We just rejoin you, right, Michael?
Please
Okay.
just keep you right here in the broadcast. And
stay in this?
oh, yes,
Yeah.
please. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's just rejoining.
Yeah. Oops. Sorry about that. God, man.
of course, would all be liars if we said we hadn't done something like that before.
Oh, yeah.
Once a week over here, but that's just me. Larry knows I never make a mistake, and I always send the right files precisely.
Absolutely. You're the top right there, Michael. You certainly, my friend, are not in the lower or lesser league. There are a lot of coaches who don't do very well with the file sets.
Yeah.
You do okay.
I sent a file from a game I played earlier in the year. I think maybe this year. I was like, man, I wonder if that was hard to spot because it was like the LA Chargers of the first of the two games we played.
Well, where I broadcast some games, they show up on mine as well, and I just dumped a game that had literally nothing to do with me to Larry. Several different files that made probably no sense at all.
Well, it looks like New England scored, and they already have the ball back, but
Their own too.
So they must have shanked the extra point.
That's right. So sorry, sports fans, but we'll look at the box score and try to figure out exactly how we got to this point in a little bit.
Don't worry, Nathan, about the file mistakes like that because the software I wrote actually corrects that. It knows based on who's the home team.
I was kind of curious. I was like, I wonder if this was like a pain in the ass trying to figure out what was going on.
So no gain on that first run by Chris Carson.
Oh,
Dreaded 5.
dreaded 5. That's
There you go. Tom Cook.
So I wouldn't be shocked to see Dave call, oh, he's on a 3 wide again. Although he could call run here. I wouldn't be totally shocked. This is a sketchy part of the field. A lot of people don't like to throw flat here because you get safety pretty easily. D card and the receiver card.
Mm-hmm. So he alternates out on that outside linebacker. He has Addison in. Mario, who's an asterisk pass rusher. There's an inside run, and that'll get a little bit of breathing room there. It's now 3rd and 8. The ball resting at the 4.
He got stoned by the 1 on the keying die, right?
He did. Good call, Larry. You're right. Live by the 3 wide, die by the 3 wide.
Definitely.
Actually, I guess wouldn't matter. It's a 2 either way. But I still stand by my previous statement. Live by the 3 wide, die by the 3 wide.
Definitely changes.
Go ahead, please. I'm sorry, Nathan.
I was saying it definitely changes a lot of things when you run the 3 wide. Offensively and defensively, everything different.
Yep. Did you say he had a 5 defensive tackle, or did he always have a 4 nose
He has
there?
a 5 nose tackle, but he's gonna keep the 4 in there unless it's
Down to a 4.
getting down to 5 yards to go or something like that.
There's a look for Hooper. That's incomplete. So, barring catastrophe here, the Eagles are going to wind up with very good field position unless we see some crazy kick. That's a normal kick. So they're going to field this right at midfield. Well, maybe they won't. Still a good field position, though. They'll take over at their own 43. Eagles, the least powerful, if you will, offense of the remaining 4 clubs, scoring just over 300 points. As we mentioned earlier, New England with the 3rd highest point differential, only trailing 2 of the guys in this broadcast who are talking about the game and not playing. There's a pass completed. It's on Fuller's card. It's a pickup of 12. So once again, the Eagles have made their way into Patriots territory, trailing 9-7 as we made our way into the second quarter. We missed a little bit of time here. We'll go back at the box score and take a look and see how New England got their touchdown. We lost the feed for a few minutes. The Patriots had the ball at the Eagles' 4-yard line. Here's a pass to Hunter Henry. Defense guesses pass correctly, double teaming Henry on the play. That pass is incomplete. Henry with 101 catches on the season, leading the Eagles. Patriots also had a 100 catch receiver in Tyler Boyd, the real life Cincinnati Bengal. 2nd and 10, ball resting at the 45.
Nathan, didn't Noah Fant have 100 catches?
I doubt it. I didn't really run a ball control as far as passing goes offense. I ran it a lot, as you probably saw.
Oh, yeah.
I took a lot of shots with him and a lot of short passes when I thought, I'd either have bad coverage matchups or guessed right or guessed
And
wrong.
speaking of shots, there's another one. There's that man again, Devin Smith, on his 2nd bomb of the game, and this one is good for pay dirt. That's 2 receptions.
Kirk Cousins.
Wow. So don't tell me about anemic offense. That's 14 just like that for Philadelphia. Sorry about that, Nathan, but
Oh no, that was a big play.
sure was.
34 catches, Larry.
How many?
34.
34. You used
But
him well.
But he averaged 15.7 per
Nice.
step. So
Nice.
Who's that? Noah Fant?
yeah,
So I've played your team several years with some very awful teams, and then maybe a couple of decent teams these last 2 years, and it never fails. You're blocking back. If I had to guess, I'd say that he.
last year,
Huh?
Vernon Davis last year, he was pretty
Vernon
good.
Davis, yeah.
That's a personal favorite of ours, Nathan.
Yes, I tried to trade you for Vernon Davis in another league a long time ago.
Yeah, I think I had him like 8 seasons.
I've had him in several leagues. He's been awesome. He's really put out some cards over time.
Oh, Chris Carson. Sorry.
Pick up a 17 on the play for Chris Carson. So New England once again trailing 14-9. Somehow they had the ball at their own 2. I assume it was a punt. We lost some of the animation for a few minutes. The Eagles took over at midfield. And another big play by Devin Smith. There's a pickup of 7. Once again on Carr's card. 2nd down and 3, ball at the 49. 9 minutes here in the second quarter in this AFC Championship. Jeff Smith, 12-4, 8th season in Autumn Wind, 2nd time in the playoffs. Looking for his first appearance in the Autumn Wind Championship.
So he's got that. He subs up that tackle, and anytime the yardage gets shorter.
There it is. So Tevian Bryan, does he have a decent pass rush?
Is that who that is?
Bryan is the 4. I saw him. He had a 4 when he was down at the 2-yard line. He had Tevin Bryan in there. I assume for pass rush, maybe?
He's like a 4 or 5. He's a D tackle, so he must be a 4.
He picked up Daquan Jones by trade this season. Forget who he traded with, though.
Nose tackles, I really like. I really like having a 5 or 6 at least.
Oh, no doubt, man.
Yeah, 6 is a wonderful thing.
See, he run Keith Carson there, but his linebacker, he didn't have the full complement in the nose tackle either side of him there, so he just has to beat the 4 linebacker for 3 yards.
You know, Nathan, that's the thing about the nose tackle. See, I made that trade with you to get the 6 this year. And when an offense runs like this 3-3-5, and they start running, line bucks and things like that, you're running out of a set that, first of all, you're punished for getting a white die 1. But even if you make the wrong call, those losses are going to be mitigated. So they may get pickups, but
they don't want to run the 3 wide against a nose tackle like that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people do it when they know they can get. Like for me, I like to get into it when I know I'm going to get a 5 down to a 4 or a 6 to a 5, even whatever it is.
Right.
And especially if they run like a 4-3 where their middle linebacker is a 6 against the run,
Uh-huh.
take that guy away every time they want to plug the zone. You can't do it anymore without
Correct. Right.
And basically, when you lower that nose tackle and you set up those box readings that come up on the D chart, it's pretty much an even wash between your guards and center and all the yards they're giving up. So if they're not giving up anything and you're giving up all those yards, it's definitely going to hurt your running game.
Good point.
And then from there, a third of the time you're guessed right on top of it. That's where you really need to be making other matchups pay off for you to offset that. Otherwise, there's just no point.
Good point.
We had a chance earlier to see it on the D card display, but when you're playing a 3-4 with the nose tackle 6, an additional linebacker, the nose tackle ratings become 1s, -1s, and 0s. So
Right.
you're suddenly that 6 just becomes a stone wall when you're able to drop a linebacker or even a DB into that additional linebacker box on the buck.
Very good
So,
point.
It becomes a great run stopper with the 6.
Very good. So there's a third down completion. Guessed wrong. 10 yards on the pickup. So New England will move the chains. They're trailing 14-9. And we have a special guest among us here in just a moment. The broadcast is going to become even more lively here in just a moment. As we welcome the illustrious, the one and only.
Oh, please.
Oh, yeah.
How come we
You
didn't
can't
get
get.
something like that?
Hey, make sure to maximize it again. We got everybody's faces there on the side.
He's demanding things already.
Yes, that's right.
I think that's how Larry told me he wanted. He wanted everybody's faces on there. But
Well, now
I don't know
Dennis
if it's
is here, I'm
commissioner, that's up to you.
Faces.
Oh, I don't mind if you want to do the faces. That's fine with me. I just wasn't sure if you were aware of it. That's
I
all.
like this
Dennis
better.
Crowley is not understanding sarcasm, but that's fine. That's good. I'm glad he's here anyway.
I heard
And I don't know. I don't know how I could make the broadcast any less exciting than what you guys were. What is that? A discourse on the nose tackle and linebackers? And come on now, we got a game going on. What's happening? It's 14-9. You guys get in the scoring range.
This is a fireside chat.
It's like having Tony Romo, though. He tells you all the insight. That's what Nathan does.
That's exactly right. I rely on my color guy, Dennis.
I'm
Hello.
like Romo, I've never won a championship, so we'll have,
How are people like me going to learn if we don't have a Nathan and a Larry here giving us advice?
What was the 3-time spring fever champion saying right there? He's never won a championship.
talk about the league we're watching here.
That's
I don't
right.
think I'm 3 times in spring video.
Oh, how about Frozen Tundra?
Yeah, Frozen Tundra. You got a couple there.
Yeah, he does. He does.
So what did I miss? 14-9. How did the Eagles get their points?
Some big plays, actually.
It's been a Devin Smith story, right?
Yeah, two Devin Smith bombs, I think, got him down there both
That's
sides.
correct.
Nice.
That's correct.
Yeah, those cards that we sometimes draft as third and fourth wide receivers in other leagues wind up being starters in the 30-team league.
Yep. And he's got a.
One of them was guessed wrong, so he got the long gain and got the good roll on it.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And New England's been able to move the ball. This is their fourth possession. They've scored on 2. They had to punt 1. There's a 7-yard pickup, so it's now 2nd down and 3. White die 6, 0 man in zone. New England had I think it was a 3rd and 1 around maybe the 20-yard line, and on a guessed wrong flat pass, Boyd's maxed out card basically rolled a 9. So he had a 4th and 1. It was incomplete. He had a maxed out card, incomplete pass. But on 4th and 1, he decided to kick it instead of go for it. So that's why they have 9. They were able to drive. We missed some animation. They had the ball at the 4, and the game froze, or they were playing, and my game wasn't catching up with any of it. He scored a touchdown. He missed the extra point, apparently. By the time we got back, it looks like the Eagles had the ball and must have had like a crazy punt or something like that to put the ball to New England 2. New England punted. Eagles had 2 plays, Devin Smith on a bomb, and that's how they're up 14-9.
Well, I like your custom end zones, Michael. It looks nice, that Patriots 1980s or 1970s end zone.
All of mine are 80s. I did every one of them 80s, just like you showed me how to do it, basically. So, but every team played in 80s end zones.
Nice.
It was great. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. So New England gets a first down, ball now at the 10. Flat pass still in play. 3 wide set, which we've seen pretty much throughout.
2 really good coaches here, and they got 2 good teams. I mean, that's what you expect when you get to the Final Four.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this would be Jeff's first crack at the Autumn Wind Championship game. And, of course, Zeminski was the runner-up last year.
Yeah, we could have a rematch of last year's game.
Very well could.
I don't know if that's ever happened, Larry. Probably not.
No, that's correct. I don't believe it has.
Maybe in the cards and dice days when there were fewer teams, but
Oh, without a doubt. Back
When you get 30 teams, man, it's tough to get that same matchup.
indeed. In fact, if you ever wonder if you're lucky or not, just getting to the championship game, that's a 2 in 30 chance, right?
There you go.
So there's a completion for a touchdown as he hits Tyler Boyd, who was the leading receiver for the Patriots this year, with 100 catches for his club.
What's cool?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say what's cool about our division alignment is that Larry and the brass or whatever make it possible for us to have a rematch every year. Oh, another missed extra point.
Missed extra point. 2 clunkers now.
Because the champion goes in one conference and the runner-up goes in the other conference. So every year it's possible to get a rematch, right, Larry?
That's correct. If you ever wonder, by the way, that's in the Autumn Wind League charter. There's the diagram for how teams fall into divisions is right there in the charter.
Well, and we are going to crash.
Oh.
So hold on to your horses.
Is that a known bug?
You know, they was really bad last year, and every special teams play any kick or punt that went into the end zone would crash. This year, it doesn't always happen. I'd say it happens maybe 10% of the time. For me personally, when I'm spectating, it doesn't happen to the competitors at all, which is great.
And there's a huge sack on
Frank
the Eagles'
Clark.
first play from scrimmage. Frank Clark. Dwayne in a club, basically 36 sacks for the year. Cameron Jordan with 19 of them. I put him in top 6, top 7 in the league. And that's the kind of play that's really going to hurt a team like this that can't consistently move the ball. But you say that, but I don't know, maybe Devin Smith has a third big catch. Take a look at that, Devin Smith. So 5 catches on the year for 113 yards in real life for Devin Smith. So, yeah, he got a fluky card.
Got to give it to Dave for knowing to use a guy like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because, I mean, a lot of coaches would have had, even if he would have drafted him, you know the name Keelan Cole a lot more, and you wind up starting Keelan Cole opposite Will Fuller instead of Devin Smith there. Well, you know, the rules dictate by yards who you have to start in a base set, but I mean, who you have to, if they're in a base set, but some guys would just, Devin Smith would be the starter, but they'd always play Cole in base set formations just because they're better on short hits or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I'd be curious to see when he picked him. He didn't catch a single pass this year. 5 catches all of last year. And another sack, and this time a fumble. And who comes up with it? New England comes up with it. So there is a big break for the Patriots.
Cameron Jordan stripped him, sacked it, and picked it up.
3rd sack of the game for the Patriots. Cameron Jordan's 2nd sack of the game. He had 19 on the season for the Patriots, who are in business now. 15-14.
19 sacks.
I need to apologize to Dave. Ever since I've tuned in, it's been nothing but good things happening to Jeff.
19 sacks is reminiscent of Robert Quinn on Nathan's teams.
How many did Quinn have this year?
No, I didn't. Why? Did your bed go missing?
13.
I didn't.
Did you have another one?
I didn't know the list of the team that much, and I ended up with a good amount.
Oh, I see. Well, maybe you should make them another bedroom, and then there's a lot of beds around here. I see like 5 in this.
Is anybody watching the game as opposed to this live feed? Because it looks like we've gotten locked out again.
No, but I'll do that, and I'll tune in on my other screen.
I'll just back out and reboot it.
Yeah, there's...
I think they crashed too because I'm not able to get back in again.
Well, now he's
Okay.
in there, second and goal.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Run one play.
All righty.
I guess
Run.
there must be a new number. It's
No.
not the 50227.
65605, I believe.
65605.
Okay, so
65605. Nobody shared that in the main room. So we'll put it out there in case somebody wants to watch.
sure. Second down and goal, ball at the 2. Card image back up here. So 2:24 on a running clock. Fortunes have dramatically changed for the Patriots, who are already up by a point.
Well, they were
But
kind enough
Fluky's-
to let us back in before anything happened.
There you were.
Another successful key.
Another successful key. Good call.
And Carson's a fumbler. 77.1% chance. I have him in another league, and he'll cough it up if you're not careful.
On
Okay.
a key, don't you get plus 35 to that as well?
Well, basically, kind of like guessed right is doubled if guessed wrong, and keyed is doubled if guessed right, usually. So, like if you watch him, his guessed right number is probably 40, and you're right, plus 30 something, 75, 77 or something like that.
Nice, yeah.
But it's not like that for everybody. Like if you have a minimum guy, he's 3 guessed wrong, 6 guessed right, and 9 keyed, something like that.
Right. No, I think you are right. 9 key.
But you have a really good guessed right card in Carson too, so it's worth running there, even in the goal line. Duke Johnson's his other back.
Duke Johnson earlier.
He did Johnson.
From the 2. So he's keying different guys.
Dave would love to hold him to a field goal here. Run guessed right. There's a man in the zone. Stuffed. Duke can't get it done. Duke got it done, but for the Duke, not for Jeff.
Do you know? Well, let's let him get this field goal here. This would extend the lead to 18-14 if he can hit it. He's already missed 2 extra points. He has hit a field goal. That's a chippy, and it goes in 18-14. I thought that call was kind of interesting. If you run a full house like that, now granted, if he decides that's going to crash our game again.
See, mine doesn't crash. Mine's fine. I'm in there. He's at the 25. He's going 3 wide with Kyle Juszczyk in the backfield. I'll just give our listeners a radio call since you don't have the video up.
Thank you.
3-3-5 against the 3 wide. Kirk Cousins and his excellent flat pass card looking to go to work here. Philadelphia's weathered the storm. It's a slant to Hunter Henry. 4-man in zone guessed right. Double covering elsewhere.
Yes.
Incomplete.
There you go.
Okay, take over. I'm going to mute it. My kids are playing Minecraft. I don't want to step on their feet.
All right.
That's a good dad, Dennis.
Yes, he is a good dad. He is a good dad. Nathan, so on that last play, 3rd down at the 3, and you run a full house backfield. Now, granted, he could throw in a situation like that, but it's almost got to be on Carr's card because he puts in Mo Alley Cox, who's not a good receiver. There really isn't a receiving option on there. Don't you limit yourself if you're running aren't you basically saying I'm going to run this ball in a full house backfield when you don't have anybody else to throw to?
Well, I mean, you run the full house down there to try to keep up with the defense. Can have all their linebackers on the line.
Mm-hmm.
If one of your ratings comes up, it's one of the only ways you can get in when the D card comes up. I don't have a problem with full house. I feel like 3rd and 3 from the goal line, especially since a lot of coaches go for it on 4th and 1 or even 4th or 2.
Okay.
But that it's not a problem because I mean, if it's a guessed wrong, guessed right thing, you're hoping to be guessed wrong when you throw
Right.
the pass. You just throw to one of your best guys,
Mm-hmm.
And on that run, I think what he was doing there is he was trying to avoid a key or if he came up on the D card, he wanted it to be 0 man in zone, but Dave did a good job. He flopped those linebackers to the outside zones because if you were run Keen Carson, for instance, that guy would disappear out of that zone, that free safety.
Right.
He was out there.
Okay. All right. Okay, so with a minute left to go, the Eagles burn a timeout on this drive. They're trailing 18-14. Eagles had the ball to begin the first half. So the Patriots will take over here in the third quarter. Devin Smith so far has been their star with 2 super huge long catches. Both of them eventually leading to scores, one of them directly a score. And the other to the red zone. Here's a pass to Hunter Henry, the leading receiver for this club. Pass is incomplete, 2nd down and 10.
I kind of like it when someone uses someone like Devin Smith and just totally abuses the card. Just because Strat is so ridiculous with some of these running backs or quarterbacks. Like, how'd you like to have Cam Newton for his whole career? He's just been worthless, and he was like an NFL MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Or even someone like, I don't know, Zeke Elliott.
Mm-hmm.
I have Zeke Elliott in one league, and I have Gus Edwards in a couple leagues. I would take Gus Edwards' career over Zeke Elliott's in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And that's just ridiculous.
He was looking for Devin Smith there for a 3rd time, and he just missed that long gain on a 7. Wow. I think he's a 5 deep. I don't think he's a 6 deep. But it's funny when the ratings guide comes out, you're just like flipping through there, taking a look, and you kind of scroll down to see some of the also rans there at the bottom, and then you see this like glaring 5 deep just sitting there. So I'd be curious to see when he took him in this draft this year because, I mean, clearly it's just a one-and-done player.
If he's got 12 combos guessed right, that's a 4 deep.
I thought he's a 5. Is he
you're
not?
right. You're right. It's 12-18. That's a 5.
Okay. Well,
12-18. 15-21 is a 6. And 9-15, I'm mistaken. A 9-15 is a 4.
It's a pretty nice pickup. I'm sure he didn't pick him up early. That's probably a 4th or 5th round pick, but that's somebody who's made an impact on that team and certainly in this game. That was a correct double team I missed. They're from New England. They're going to get the ball back deep in their own territory. 52 seconds to go.
I think this was the kind of draft where you could get a guy like that pretty cheap. There were a lot of higher end receivers in the draft that pushed some of those cards that were a little better than you'd expect down.
Mm-hmm.
Like Marcus Johnson, for instance, went well ahead of him, and he had kind of a nice card for what he had done.
Is that that's the Buffalo Bill receiver, maybe from the CFL?
And he got picked up by Tennessee this year. He might have another card just like it, based on stats. I think he was like, I don't know, he might have been like a 3-4-5, 4-5, something like that.
Yep.
Wasn't Marcus Johnson a basketball player too? Sorry.
Yes, and yes, he was.
Dating myself there.
No, not hardly. Not hardly. So New England's just happy to get into the locker room here with 1 second to go, and that's going to be it. So we're going to go to the half. So the Patriots have the lead 18-14. Let's see if they're going to give each other a little bit of time. They'll probably take a break, I bet you. Yep, take a break. Let's look at the box score. So the play we missed was a 2-yard run by Duke Johnson. There's that extra point that failed. That was a 45-yard pass to Devin Smith. They gave the Eagles the lead, but the Patriots have put the last 9 points on the board. That's a 10-yard pass to Tyler Boyd. 20-yard field goal, 18 to 14. Let's see if any numbers stick out here. New England, 6 of 9 on third down. Cousins only 7 of 20, but that big number, 173 yards, thanks to 111 of those going to Devin Smith on 2 catches. 66 and 45-yard receptions. Keeping the Eagles in the game. Kamara has only rushed the ball twice. That's interesting. I haven't really caught that. 2 carries for 27 yards and Pollard 1 for 6. So maybe the Eagles will run the ball a little bit more, but that may be the strategy, just basically to go over the top, and it's been successful with 2 catches for over 100 yards for Devin Smith. There's Carson with 13 carries for 71 yards. Derek Carr, 13 of 20 for 126. 1 touchdown.
New England is excellent against the run, so you may just not want to run a whole lot.
Yep, he's basically making the decision just to throw and try to go over the top. And so defensively, we've had 3 sacks in this contest, and that's Cameron Jordan with 2 of them, and Frank Clark with the 3rd. So Jeff Smith and his 12-4 New England Patriots, a sneaky good 12-4 if there is such a thing, 3rd best point differential in the entire league, looking to make his first appearance in this 17th season of Autumn Wind football, looking for his first appearance in the championship. Dave Szymanski, longtime coach in Autumn Wind, and much before that when they were playing the board game all the way back to the Avalon Hill days in the late 60s. Played in the championship last year, so he's looking to go back-to-back. Trying to make it as a 5 seed. I'd be curious to see how many 5 seeds have made it to the championship game in these 16 years up to this point. Certainly couldn't be too many clubs that had only 9 wins head to the final game. There's a screen pass, incomplete. It's on the D card. Defender able to make the play on a white die 4, so it's now 2nd and 13. Good start for Philly. Scored just over 300 points this year, so they don't even average 20 points a game. So not a club that can go down 2 scores here. So it's early to say something like this, but this should be a big drive for them to get them off the field. Got to keep this thing within a score. Or get lucky and throw 2 more bombs to Devin Smith. What do I know? The Autumn Wind Flipper Anderson. Well, Sideline pass to Fitzgerald. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Receiver reading on the play. Let me pull that card up. It's a modest gain of 4. 3rd and 9. So let's see if Addison checks into the game. His speed rusher there on the outside, and he does. Well, maybe. Let's make sure. 3 wide set. That's Derek Carr. Sidecar right is Duke Johnson in on this play. Better receiving option, I guess. 3-3-5. That's Luke Kuechly there in the middle with it. Nice look at 6. But actually, Addison is not in on this play. He said that Sean Lee. Looking for Austin Hooper, defense double teaming elsewhere. It's on Carr's card, and that pass is incomplete as he's looking for a deep shot to Hooper, but success for the Eagles here as they're able to force the 3 and out. So Saminsky's going to keep this to a 1-score game. He's trailing 18-14. 48-yard punt. This one is going to be returned for nothing. Modest 2 yards. So he's flipped the field, and the Eagles will have their first possession of the second half, starting out at their own 28. Just 2 minutes here into the third quarter in the AFC Championship. The winner goes on to play in Uber Bowl 17 and will face off against either Dennis Crowley and the Seattle Seahawks or Mark LePage and his Dallas Cowboys. And there is another deep shot. This one's 41 yards to Hunter Henry.
That was just a short pass. He got the.
It was a short pass. You're right. Sorry. He got a long gain on a short pass. 3 men in the zone, so he got that nice boxcar 12 and picks up 41. Yeah, my bad. It was a short pass. It was a long gain on a short pass. So the Eagles, another chunk play. That's 4 of them now for the game. Kamara's had a big run in this game, and, of course, 2 huge passes to Devin Smith. There's a throw to Kamara, pickup of 4. And as Nathan had said a little bit earlier, he basically gone to the air almost exclusively. Kamara at the half only had 2 carries. Cousins now 9 of 22 for 218 yards. 2 big strikes to Devin Smith and a big strike there to Hunter Henry. And there's a pass to Juszczyk, and that is a monster sack. A huge loss on the play. And who was that sack? How about the 3rd sack of the game for Cameron Jordan? Is it possible we could hand out an MVP award to Cameron Jordan?
9 completions for 218 yards is pretty crazy.
It is. You got a 66, a 45, and a 41 in there. So here's a curl pass to Fuller. Defense double teaming Fuller. Wow. So that drive had a lot of promise, and it's going to come up way, way short. And a completion there could have at least given him the opportunity to field goal, but great double team by the Patriots. And so the Eagles will have to go back to work here again and try to keep this to a 1-score game. They're only losing by 4 here to the New England Patriots, coached by Jeff Smith, 12-4 season. And those 4 losses, 2 of them were really tough games against Houston, who won 15 games this season. They lost those 2 games by a combined 7 points. They also lost to the Rams and the Southern California Suns, so they didn't lose to a team with a losing record this year. And they were close in those 3 against playoff opponents. They did beat 2 playoff opponents this year, the Saints and the Raiders. The Eagles also beat the Saints this year as well. There's a quick out for Hooper. White dice 6, and that's going to be a big pickup there of 20. So they get out of the shadow of their own end zone. Ball resting at the 26. 10.5 to go here, third quarter. New England up 18-14. AFC Championship. There's a sideline pass to Fitzgerald, but he loses 2 on the play. That's on Carr's card. So it's 2nd and 12. New England is in the Knoll division along with Houston. Philadelphia is in the Walsh division. Number 5 seed, Philadelphia, facing off against number 3 New England Patriots. Patriots defeated Tampa Bay last week 31-17. Philadelphia 20-17 over Houston. There's a crossing pattern pass. Defender X reading 6 white die, so that pass is going to be completed to Fitzgerald. And another first down. That's 7 catches for the ageless Larry Fitzgerald, the Pitt Panthers. 7 catches for 49 yards. So the ball resting at the 37. The Patriots up 18-14. 9:18 to go here in the third quarter. And there's a deep shot, double teamed correctly by Philadelphia. Metcalf unable to make the play. He's been quiet today. He does have 1 big catch of 30 yards. That was on Carr's card. You can see on Carr's card there, even double teamed. There's your 30. And that's where it landed for Metcalf. Other than that, he's been pretty quiet. His numbers per catch average actually were pretty modest this year. 13 yards. Per reception, he's looking for Metcalf again. 4 in the zone. Automatically 4 in the zone. They run the 3-3-5. That pass is incomplete as well. So now it's 3rd and 10. So the Eagles want to take care of business here. And force this punt. New England was 9 of 14 in the first half on converting these third downs. And there's a run up the middle for Duke Johnson. But a white die 1, it's guessed right. Had that been on his card, that would have been a short game. But Nathan, would he have been stopped there by the linebacker containment?
What was the roll?
It was the roll's gone now. I think it was a 1-7. Yeah, it was a 1-7 on Duke Johnson's card.
Yeah, I mean, if he has to have the 3 to beat the
right.
Unless there's a 0 there. The 1's always going to be contained, no matter who's there, as long as someone's there.
Okay.
And against a 0, you can beat it on 2 and 3, and against everyone else, you just only beat it on 3, unless
only on a 3. Okay.
Not stop anything, or you're not going to beat anything. Another bomb, Devin Smith.
Another bomb. So there's that man again, Devin Smith, pass incomplete. He hit a 6 on the last roll. See that long gain on 7. The quirky Devin Smith card. There's a pass, 7-yard pickup there, I believe, for Pollard, a run for Pollard for 7. I was looking at the draft. There we go. So 3rd down and 3 for the Eagles here. We'll look at this in just a moment. Kamara has checked into the game. It's Kyle Juszczyk in the backfield with him. It's the I formation. running up against this really tough, excellent run defense. Defense guessing pass here, and they're looking for Devin Smith, and they've double teamed him this time, so that pass is going to be incomplete. So good call for Jeff Smith, and the Eagles will have to turn this ball back over. And after the punt, the Patriots will take over with their ball at the 36-yard line, up 18-14. So both these clubs in their first two possessions have exchanged punts. There's a look for Larry Fitzgerald. The pass is incomplete. So Philadelphia picked up Devin Smith with the second to last pick of the 5th round. Who knew he'd have that kind of impact, right?
It's pretty strange to go deep to him so much more often than Will Fuller. Just because, I mean, Fuller's got a better bomb guard. It was like 48-4 or something like that on the regular season. Deep to Smith versus Fuller. Although maybe he just wants to make sure Fuller's not getting.
I'm sure that's got to be part of it.
The other way around, I suppose. I don't know.
Well, he averaged 21 yards a catch, so that must have been his MO pretty much for the entire season.
Well, Fuller's a dangerous receiver. I mean, he always has been.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's just the thing is, people know that and they just don't pay attention to Smith. And
the enemy, it's the enemy as opposed to who in the world's that other guy, unless you really know their numbers. And, anybody who's playing this team, if they just look at the numbers, they should realize 5 deep is something dangerous. It's something to be respected.
I think Valdez-Scantling for me was only a 5 deep, and he killed it this year for me.
Oh, gosh, did he ever. Yeah, just such a great weapon to have. So 3rd down, they're going to convert this one on a pass to Metcalf on Metcalf's card. It's a pickup of 17. And the Patriots have moved into Eagles territory. 5 minutes here on a moving clock. See if anybody else is in the studio, wants to join us. All right. Three wide set. We've pretty much seen it throughout the game. Here's an off-tackle run. It's on the D card. It's only going to pick up 2. It's now 2nd down and 8. White die 5 reading, offensive tackle, not able to make the block on that play. That's right, he's downgraded, so he'll get nothing and like it. 2nd down and 8. Eagles with 23 team sacks this year, nothing today. Patriots have 4 sacks today, including 3 by Cameron Jordan, which included, I believe, a strip sack was among them that led to a Patriots touchdown. Here's an inside run for Duke Johnson. Guessed wrong, but it only picks up 1 yard on the play.
How many runs do you have left?
How many runs does Duke Johnson have left? Carson. 14.
Yeah, because he's got 8 runs with John Johnson's card. I don't think. Maybe it's Maybe
Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know why he would have.
well, he might be a
Duke
receiver, I assume, but
He could be worried about those fumbles, and he just wants to stay away from Carson, thinking that Duke's going to king him
not
one of
run
these times.
Carson because you're worried about fumbling, though.
Yeah, I know. That's. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Doesn't stop you, Dennis, does it?
No, I fumbled with the best of them.
That'd be like Dave not throwing the ball at all because he's worried that Cousins has a higher pick number than some guys.
He did throw 15 on the year.
Well, you talked a little bit before about there's a flat pass guessed wrong, but it's going to land on the D card. How Derek Carr's card is a little bit underrated.
Oh yeah.
So
No,
maybe
if you're on the 3 wide, I like hitting the flats a lot. And then if you want to take your shots against the 4 there, or even with Metcalf, deep if you think you're going to get 0 man in zone, throw to the other 3 guys a lot to avoid getting them double for when you want to take your shot, if that's what you're trying to do. But Carson has good combos just right. And if you're going to 3 wide, that's part of the benefit of having a guy like that. And he's got a lot more, looking at that Duke Johnson card on that, he's got like a 2 yard on there, a 3 yard on there.
Where are you guys?
Eating up a lot of the card. I guess I could look at Carson real quick and see what he looks like.
That's going to be another good punt. That's going to pin him deep there. Ball's a 3.
And another thing too is that the strength of Philadelphia's defense is the pass defense. So you got a really good guessed right, guessed wrong runner in Carson, and an average average run defense for Philadelphia. So you're right. I would definitely look for him to use some more of those carries in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to use 14 carries in the fourth quarter though, and Duke Johnson's for me. I think mentally, if I have like 8 carries for 6 yards, I'm just taking that guy out and putting my better guy in.
I looked at his pass receiving card. It didn't look that great. I didn't get to see Carson's card. And
we got some pressure here.
Sack, and there is safety.
Oh, what did you do?
Is that Cam Jordan on the sack?
What you actually ended up doing?
So it was Cameron Jordan. He was responsible for it, even though the sack was credited to Luke Kuechly.
This is the lowest.
Okay.
So 12 against the 3 for Jordan. Made him step up in the pocket right into the arms of Luke Kuechly.
Kuechly trying to get to the Super Bowl for the first time after a career on Shreveport.
Rick's ears are burning right now. Guessed wrong flat pass, but it hit the receiver reading on the D card. And Austin Hooper, he's got a maxed out flat card for a tight end, picks up 9.
Good pickup.
I like him going to his regular set here.
Yes, agreed.
I mean, there are
100%.
definitely times to use a 3 wide in this. I think of mixing it in this game is a good thing, but definitely getting some run opportunities.
For sure. And in this rule set, you get 2 scores in the fourth quarter. That's tough to overcome.
Nose tackle reading comes up. He needed a 6.
There he goes. He's busting loose.
Big chunk play for Carson.
35 yards for Chris Carson. He says, I don't need all my 14 carries. Just give me a handful, and I'll show you what I can do.
Well, he just tripled Duke Johnson's production for the day.
Okay, so here's the reason why Duke's getting run so much. I figured it out. He doesn't feel like swapping him out of this formation. So when he goes 3 wide, it's Duke's in the game.
Okay.
So he's just going to run whoever's in there instead of like double clicking it and swapping him out for a play or 2.
The white die won.
And it should be noted, a field goal here puts him up 2 scores.
Duly noted. As we're getting to the last few ticks here of the third quarter, New England up 20-14, but they are definitely on the doorstep here. As Dennis said, a field goal here puts this lead up to 2 scores. So the score looks orthodox, but there's been 2 missed extra points and a safety for New England, so the score looks a little bit better now at 20.
He's showing. Curious to see what he does here.
Yep, showing blitz. New England's 2 through 9 from field goal range at this spot.
It's looking for Fitzgerald, who has 7 catches. This is his 8th catch. That's 11, and move the chains as we made our way into the fourth quarter. New England looking very good on this drive off the heels of a safety. And they're already up by 6. Looking for more. This is now the fourth quarter of the AFC Championship game. New England up 20-14. New England looking for their first ever appearance in the Uber Bowl. Philadelphia trying to go back-to-back. So it'd be Jeff Smith's first ever appearance in the Autumn Wind Championship. Dave Szymanski, 9-7 this year, the number 5 seed, with back-to-back upsets.
Nice double there by Dave.
Yeah, I'm going to start
Oh, echo.
Pickup of only 1 on the play. And that
That would've
pass
been a
was to
huge-
Carson.
That would have been a huge turnover there.
I think he's calling run here.
I bet Dave is too. Nope. Off tackle draw. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that was pass. And that pass is incomplete. They were looking for Carson there. Defense was double teaming Tyler Boyd. Right or wrong? Because it wouldn't have mattered. So 3rd down and 9 with the ball at the 15. Patriots looking good here to extend this lead to a 2-score game.
Pretty
So
good
third-
receiving guard for a running back on a short pass.
Yeah, he's not bad. The Patriots are 2 through 9 and 12 from 13 to 22, and 2 through 11 if they get inside the 12 on this play.
Do we play with variable field goal?
Yes.
We do.
It'll be interesting to see if Dave shows blitz on this play.
I would kind of like to see. Is that right outside linebacker at 0-0?
Yep.
I would kind of like,
Addison.
I like to
Addison
run
pass
down
rush.
with a non-shotgun here just to make him think at least of moving someone there.
Yeah, so he's going to – that's his 3rd down rushing specialist, Mario Addison, 0-0-12-3 asterisk. Oh, and he comes up with
He's
a base
Switched it.
defense.
Yeah. Coach, are you still there?
Not showing blitz, 3-4 against the 3 wide.
Mm-hmm.
Short pass to Carson. No chance for double team.
A quarterback sneaked a car, and he picks up 7, but he stopped 2 yards short. So now it's 4th and 8. And no hesitation. They're going to kick this field goal and try to extend this lead to 9, and they will do it.
So plays it conservatively, gets his 2-score lead.
That's right.
13-12 to go in the game.
Mm-hmm. Eagles will take over their own 22. Eagles not an offensively proficient club, barely scored over 300 a game this year, so not even averaging 20 points. So this is going to be a tall order for the Eagles, trailing by 9 here. We're just a couple of minutes here into the fourth quarter in this Autumn Wind AFC title game. There's a flush from the pocket. He only picks up a yard on the play. It's 2nd down and 9. So the winner of this contest will take on the winner of tomorrow's contest between Seattle and Dallas. Both two clubs are former Autumn Wind champions. In fact, Dallas was last year's champion, looking to go back-to-back. In what could be their heyday, basically their swan song. They're going to be looking for a rebuild at the end of this offseason.
So correctly double-team short pass there to Henry, but it was double-teamed by a linebacker, so it was the receiver guessed right on the D card.
Henry, the leading receiver this year for Philadelphia, over 100 catches, 101. 1st and 10, ball at the 36. Got to get something on this drive. At least you feel that way. Trailing by 2 scores. And he is sacked. He's again is looking for Devin Smith. And that's Frank Clark. That's his second sack of the game. So that is the 6th sack for New England. This year, 36 total sacks for the club. They were in top 6, top 7, I believe, in the league. And they've made a huge impact in this game. It's a loss of 6. It's now 2nd down and 16. So the ferocious pass rush of the New England Patriots stepping up today. Looking for Keelan Cole. Defense guesses pass, no surprise, not bringing anybody. And that's another must run. Cousins has a very, very average must run card, and he only picks up 3. So this is a difficult get for the Eagles here. 3rd and 13. They're going to go 3 wide. So that means Fuller, Keelan Cole again is checked into the game. That's Kyle Juszczyk in the backfield.
Yeah, man, I don't have enough.
Defense 3-3-5, not showing blitz. Looking for Hunter Henry again. And they're going to have another sack, and this time it's going to be a fumble. Who's going to recover this one? The Eagles come up with it, but it's a huge loss again. It's a 4-yard loss. They must have run the ball, so we didn't catch that animation. But regardless, it's another sack.
Send us
See if we
one
can
of those
figure-
error messages.
I'm getting a few of them, that's for sure.
I
And
can't.
that was that was Jordan again. That's his 4th sack of the game.
And he caused another one. So
And he caused,
he's just beating up Garrett Bowles, spanking him, taking his trousers, throwing him away, just inflicting punishment on him. And Bowles is going to have to come back stronger next year, which, of course, we know he's going to be like a 6'7" probably. Time to ice the game with some Chris Carson runs, right, guys?
oh, I think it's Duke Johnson time. I don't know about you.
Carr is a flat passer. This is where you ball control your way down the field with flat passes and draws.
And so on that first play, there's your pitch play to Carson. It's a pickup of 12. So Carson now 15 carries for 118 yards. That's the quietest 118 yards. He's got plenty of carries left too. So the Eagles trailing by 9. They need a fumble. They need some magic here. There's a pass. Like Larry had said, now you can flat pass this team. It's a pickup of only 2. 2nd down and 8. But again, when you're up by 9, the playbook is pretty much wide open, so Dave has to be really sharp at his next few calls here, and he's got to get that ball back in a hurry. And there's a pass completed to DK Metcalf, guessed wrong, 13. And another first down for New England. So they are looking very, very good right now. 8:24 to go here in the fourth quarter. They're up by 9 and driving on the Eagles while at their 45. Again, looking for DK Metcalf on an interception split, but that pass is incomplete. Fortunately, that would have been a monster break, one that the Eagles truly would have needed there, but instead the ball is bouncing along the turf. Second down and 10, 8:06 to go here in the fourth quarter. New England 8 minutes away from their first Hooper Bowl appearance. Jeff Smith, if he can knock off a little bit more clock here. Receiver double teamed on that play. Tyler Boyd makes the catch. The leading receiver this year for the New England Patriots with over 100 catches makes that clutch reception. It was on Carr's card. Pickup of 11, move the chains. Now with the ball at the 34, we're halfway through this fourth quarter.
Nothing could
Patriots
be done
driving up 22. Larry, sorry.
Sorry to interrupt. Nothing can be done about that one, though. Double team.
Not a thing.
On
That's
seven.
right.
It's a great call.
Yep. Dave made a great call.
It's an unfortunate break. First and 10. It's Boyd's third catch of the game.
See, sometimes the way you could use that three receiver set if you want to throw those flats and run the ball because you make one of those DBs stay back in the short zone.
Right. Yep.
We can only flood one zone, and it's really hard to call run because then you have to bring the safety up. That means you're flooding no zones.
Yeah, it's all
good point. Good point.
And at this point in the game, you're going to get called to run, 33% of the time, maybe a little higher anyway. So,
So Tyler Boyd's second consecutive catch there. They now have the ball at the 24 with 6:54 to go. Off tackle run, defense guesses pass the double teams. That play doesn't go anywhere, but it does take more time off the clock. 6:18 now. Second down and 10. 41-yard field goal from here. Trailing by 9.
There's no 3 wide now. I like this. That's Carson in the backfield, who already has eclipsed 100 yards, 118 to be exact. And there's a quick out. Defense guesses pass. It is completed to Hooper. It's a 6-yard gain. So now this field goal is going to be a little bit easier, if that's what they wind up with. Field goal here would extend it to 12, so that would make necessary 2 touchdowns. More pressing is the clock. 5:42 now, running clock. 3rd and 4. This is, you wouldn't say do or die, but this is pretty close to it here for the Eagles. Got to stop them here, hold them to a field goal attempt, and more importantly, stop that clock. Three wide set, and Dave will counter with a 3-3-4. See, I never understand what the benefit of that is.
No, there is no benefit, right? Because your free safety can't double team now.
Yeah, and what's that linebacker going to do for you that a DB couldn't?
Right.
There's a deep shot to Metcalf. Wow. Guessed wrong, and Wow, look at that. What a call. So now the Patriots are up by 15. I thought there was a chance they may go for 2 here, but they're basically going to put this out to a 16-point game. So it's still a 2-score game. But the Eagles have their work cut out for them with 5:24 to go. This is not an offense that is that capable of putting up monster points unless he catches Devin Smith with another long bomb. We get kicked out of this game, we'll go back in. When we catch back up, the Eagles should have the ball, and they do. We missed one play. Missed a 10-yard pickup. So it's 2nd down and 10. Oh, we didn't miss any plays. We just got right back in.
No, he threw an incomplete there.
Yeah, we missed one incomplete pass. Thank you. So 2nd down and 10. 5:06 to go. Put the card back up here. Three wide set. That's Kyle Juszczyk in the backfield. Looking for Juszczyk. Interception split. That pass is incomplete. So it's 3rd and 10, and the Eagles are running out of bullets.
80% chance of a sack on that one. Just held him off. Garrett Bowles against Cameron Jordan again.
Potential for his 5th sack of the day. Wow.
The bomb. Couldn't make the play.
Looking for Hunter Henry, his leading receiver. He's double teamed on the play. Pass falls incomplete. It's now 4th and 10. Yeah, I think the Eagles have no choice here but to go for it.
And that's why they're punting.
And that's why they're punting. That's right. It's the things you say if you just would have held on for one more second, Dennis.
Well, this could be a good play. Maybe they'll get a fumble punt and pick up 40 yards of field position.
Not if you let the ball go over your head. So
true.
So with 4:12 to go, the Eagles do have all 3 of their timeouts remaining, but this has to be a 3 and out or a turnover or something crazy here. So pro set formation. And there's that Duke Johnson again.
Okay, so he just wants to make sure he doesn't fumble it.
That must be it. That's right.
I can buy into that now.
So they would have accomplished the same thing had Derek Carr just taken a knee there. That's a loss of 1, but the clock rolls.
Of course, you can't take a knee in strat with that much time on the clock. It has to be under 2 minutes.
That's right, Dennis. I'm trying to be colorful, but you.
I'm with you.
I'm trying to equate taking a knee with Duke Johnson's running ability. There's a pitch. And he gets a yard this time. Hooray.
Duke Johnson's not bad. I don't think he's nearly as good as Carson is all.
11 carries for 5 yards.
Yeah, he's not rolling his numbers.
Not his day, no. But again, this is just about running 2 minutes off the clock. Don't turn the ball over. 3rd and 10, liable to see another run here. High formation, defense counters 3-3-5. Does have that nose tackle 5 in there. Off tackle run for Carson. Defense guesses run. And the Eagles will get the ball back. So Dennis was probably right. Maybe it was better to punt it there than just give away the game. But they are trailing by 2 scores here with 2:42 to go. Let's see if we see some magic here on this punt.
It's a doable amount of leg, I think. No.
Just to be clear, I wanted him to go for it. I wasn't saying punting was a good idea. I was just trying to find the bright spot in that plan.
I agree. He did get the ball back, but he's got 2 more minutes taken off the clock. So now with the ball at the 33, let's see if Devin Smith has some magic in him. Or, he hasn't thrown Fuller's way. Maybe it's Fuller. And there is Fuller.
I'd be throwing to Fuller. He's got the best catches on his card. Well, that's why he's over there. He's got the most yards.
So that was a sack, but it was on the must-run card, and Pierce got that sack. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 now for New England, although that's a wishy-washy sack. 2:06 to go. Looking for Hunter Henry. Defense double-teaming Devin Smith. That's on Cousins' card. It's incomplete. Cousins is 10 of 30 for 231 yards, 3rd and 11. As we've hit the 2-minute mark.
So he's only completed 1 passes, it looks like.
Wow. And there's a bomb. Looking for Devin Smith. Defense double-teaming Hunter Henry. Must run. Picks up 5. Clock's going to move. Let's see if he calls timeout here. Nope. Hurry up. So 4th and 6. Last gasp effort here for the Eagles. Let's see if they can keep this game alive. Ball at their own 37. Trailing by 16.
Sorry, guys, had to step away there.
That's all right. Turn out the lights. The party's over.
There's a look for Kyle Juszczyk. Defense guesses pass, and that is going to be a loss of 1. And as Dennis was singing, they say that all good things must end. That's it.
That's it, baby. This is the
Yes.
Yeah, and you got to feel good if you're Jeff, because he went out and traded for a guy like Luke Kuechly. Like Larry pointed out earlier, he's going to get to his first Super Bowl. When you make a move like that, give up some of your future for the last card of a very good veteran, and you make it to the Super Bowl, you feel good about that.
Yep.
And Jeff's got excellent defense against the run and good against the pass. So he's going to be a tough out no matter which team advances tomorrow. We could have 2 excellent defenses, one with the run in the Patriots and one with the pass in the Cowboys tomorrow, facing off in the Super Bowl if the Cowboys win. You got to give it to Dave, though. He did a good job getting this far.
Most certainly.
Wasn't your standard stacked team.
No, not at all. And he slayed some giants on the way here.
That's what good coaches do.
%65% career winning percentage. This was his 12th playoff appearance in 17 years. That is fantastic. That is consistency. So Dave has a timeout in his pocket. I doubt he uses it here. And he does not. And so there you go. There is your final score. So New England, congratulations to Jeff Smith. His first ever appearance in the Autumn Wind title game known as the Uber Bowl. This is edition number 17. This is only his second playoff appearance. and it'll be his first time in the championship. Congratulations also, a great run for Dave Szymanski, the number 5 seed who makes it all the way to the AFC title game. Szymanski was the conference champion last year, and he succumbed to Dallas Cowboys, who are still alive, and they will be playing tomorrow against Dennis Crowley and his Seattle Seahawks. And a great matchup of 1 versus 3 with a chance to play in the Super Bowl. Both those two clubs are former Auto Win champions. Dallas has won 2. Dennis, I believe you won 2 as well. So we're either going to see a new champion or we're going to see a 3-time champion sometime next week. And we will know who's going to be in this game tomorrow. What time is that game, Dennis? 3 o'clock Eastern time?
It's 2 o'clock Pacific time, 5 o'clock Eastern
5
time.
o'clock, all right. So Szymanski and both these guys actually have been involved in some of these broadcasts, so maybe one or both of these will come in here.
Michael, you have an MVP for this game?
I say Cameron Jordan. Anybody else have an opinion on it?
I mean, hard to argue with that.
What do you think, Larry?
Yeah, I think Cam Jordan with what he had, 4 sacks and a force. That's
Yep.
pretty great. That's a great game.
That is. Dennis, what do you think?
Got to give it to Cam. If you would have, Carson wound up with 118 yards, but he didn't get in the end zone, and Jordan just dominated on his side of the ball.
Yes, he most certainly did.
And I think it can be exciting when it's your first time getting to the Super Bowl. For Dennis, it's kind of boring, but for the rest of us, getting there is really exciting.
Yeah, come on.
If I get to play a playoff game where I don't have to play Dennis to go to the Super Bowl.
You beat me in the most recent one, right?
That wasn't to go to the Super Bowl.
What was that?
S28.
Yeah, you knocked me out in S28. So, and you won the Super Bowl. So pretty much the same thing.
We played like 20 playoff games at least, and I bet you I've lost 15 of them or more.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That's one.
But I love the fact that we keep meeting up. It's fun when you can
really
do
big too.
I was watching some of the comments between these two, and Jeff was very complimentary on Dave and how good a coach he is. It's a 9-7 club. He's just a dangerous coach.
Yeah, I think the only thing that you would want to maybe ask Dave about if he gets on here, I'm not sure if he'll come on.
I'll do it, Kenji.
Is the lack of running attempts. You're facing a hellacious pass rush. You have a bad matchup on the offensive line against one of his key defensive guys, and you have a really dangerous runner in Kamara, and he didn't get the ball. What did he wind up with? A handful of carries?
Yeah, we'll take a look here at the box score.
Like 4.
So he had 2 carries.
2 carries.
2 carries for 27 yards.
And
And Kirk Cousins got 31 attempts. So you run the ball a total of 4 times and pass it 33 times maybe, because 3 runs for Cousins. And some of those were probably must-run sacks.
And one of those big completions for Cousins was early when he was actually guessing around and he threw the bomb. I think that might have been the 66 starter.
Tell me.
So
Yeah, people aren't.
Game he was looking to call some run.
Yeah, and you're not going to call run much when he's not running it.
20 passes come out and you only run it a couple times. But I'm sure he was not too thrilled about running against the excellent defense either.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how many yards New England gave up on the ground this year. Should look.
Jeff Smith, congratulations to you, my friend.
Thank you. Don't know what to say. Kind of in shock right now. I did not expect to. Well, I shouldn't say I didn't expect to win. I mean, you always have confidence going into the game, but I knew Duke would be tough, and
I don't think he was very tough at all.
Hey, Dave, thanks for coming on. Hey, great run, Dave. Well done.
Thanks. Wasn't well enough. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. This is a tough club. I mean, this is the third best point differential in the entire league. So, and of his losses, basically, I mean, 2 of them were to a 15-1 team, and his combined losses were by 7 points. So this is a sneaky good, kind of an underrated third seed here that's dangerous. And not only, I mean, they can move the ball, but also too their pass rush today was just absolutely fantastic. So they're dangerous on offense, defense, pass rush. They've got all the levels basically. So this would have been a bust.
I don't know if I would have showed up. Geez. I could have beat them maybe. I don't know. I guess I had delusions.
Okay, so did you just not hear Jeff basically have a sigh of relief? He's like real excited to be here. I saw the comments where he said you're a great coach.
I'm not buying it.
Duke, don't listen to him. Duke is the ultimate Lou Holtz.
Very much so.
My team is terrible. My team is terrible, and then he beats you by 40.
Yeah, that's exactly what you don't want. So, Jeff, congratulations to you. Had you had a game anything close to that with Cam Jordan with 4 sacks? I know he had 19 for the year, but that probably outpaced anything he'd done for the entire season.
He has been a monster in the playoffs, Michael. I mean, you look at his stats in the 3 games, and he probably has double-digit sacks.
Wow.
Total for the playoffs. Wow. So, yeah, he has been, and they were all huge sacks, no doubt.
No doubt.
Definitely the difference in the game.
No doubt the difference in the game. So, Dave, tell me a little bit about that, basically. What kind of adjustment do you make in a situation like that, or is it just one of those things where there's not much you can do to stop a guy on the defensive line like that?
Well, I was watching to see if Jeff was going to blitz a lot, and I was going to counter that any way I could, but he wasn't. He was able to sack me without really blitzing that much because my offensive pass blocking is pretty weak, and he took advantage of it, and that was something that I realized I'd have to. I didn't think I could ball control with his great run defense, and he calls a lot of run, and I had to exploit the weakness of his defenders and go to a few receivers that I don't normally go as much to, and I thought that would kind of mix it up, and it worked for a while, but it's not something that was going to work for 4 quarters, and it didn't. Right.
We were looking at Devin Smith, for example, a guy, basically a 5-catch guy in real life, not even a guy who played this year, and yet he played such a pivotal role for you. That was a nice pickup that you made in the 5th round to find a deep threat receiver, and it's kind of nice to play off Fuller, where a lot of people know more about Will Fuller than they were Devin Smith, and those 2 big catches basically kept you in the game in the first half.
Yeah, I was kind of counting on a few of those, and maybe have Juszczyk, burn him somewhere, but he didn't quite make it. It was going to be uphill because Jeff's got a really outstanding team there. And
yes, he does.
He took the ball away from you a lot, with how he can mix it up there. So I had to do everything I could to stop him, and obviously I didn't. A lot of those brackets got me. Yeah,
that's true. So a good night for Carson. 118 yards, I think he finished off with, basically. Which is a good number considering you do run 3 wide pretty much the entire time and didn't run into too much white die one. I think with Duke Johnson you seem to, but not with Carson. So it's nice to have that option at a 3 wide set. So, Jeff, what do you know about the opponents that you're coming up here against? I don't think you played Dallas or Seattle through the regular season.
No,
I didn't think so. Yeah, you've got your defense. I ran into a team last week. It was my first time in the Autumn Wind playoffs, and I played lousy against Dallas, which isn't too much of a surprise, basically. But you kind of take a look at that excellent pass defense, and you feel kind of paralyzed, and you're going to try to figure out another way to win as opposed to going away from your game plan. But you maintained steady with that passing attack and basically looked at him and said, my card, your card. But you've got such balance on your team with Carson as well. You've got a team that's very difficult to stop on so many different levels. I think we lost somebody there. Is Dave still there? Or did we lose him? It looks like we lost him.
I'm here. I just don't think you got Jeff.
Yeah, maybe it looks like Jeff's kind of disappeared on us. Nathan, Dennis, anybody want to add anything while we're talking?
In Wi-Fi.
So real quick, Dave, I know that you touched on this a little bit. Your plan going in was to mix it up, different receivers. But Alvin Kamara, 2 carries. How do you let a guy like that only touch the ball twice on the ground? And I know he has excellent run defense, but you had to still want to get him at least 12 to 15 carries.
He not only has an excellent run defense, he calls run a lot. And you cannot drive down the field. And Nathan alluded to this when he was talking about the game between Tampa Bay and New England. With that type of defense, you can't. You're going to have a clunker in there, and you maybe get a first down or 2, get to midfield, and then you're gonna crap out. I just didn't think the way he calls defense and the way he's got set up defensively, I didn't think I was going to be able to use Kamara like I normally use him. Against Nathan, he was able to cut through there, but Nathan calls a different game and has a different defense. So I had to adjust, and I understand what you're saying, Dennis, but I can't see how that would have worked against Jeff's team.
Yeah, I see what you're saying with the ball control, running, trying to put together an 80-yard drive with that style of play against a really good defense is tough.
Oh, yeah, and also, Nathan, watching Jeff play that game against Mike Ramos in Tampa Bay, he does a great job of mixing those lineups. So if I would to go with the Kamara run and the flat pass game that they normally do, heck, he's got either a 6 in the middle, or he fills two zones on the outside, leaves the middle open. He mixes that up with his run calls really well. So in deference to what I saw with Jeff and with his team and his coaching, I thought my regular offense and the thing you would expect, Dennis, for me to run, I thought he'll probably expect that too, and I'm gonna twist it around. And I'm not going to do what I normally do. So he can look at my tendency all he wants. I wasn't going to do what I normally do in this game, and it didn't work. Okay, so maybe you're right, Dennis. Maybe I should have. It was intentionally that I didn't.
Perfect. Thanks for explaining that. It makes sense.
It didn't work, though, Dennis.
Well, I mean, you left poor Garrett Bowles out there on the island. A 3 pass blocker against Cameron Jordan. That was the tough part, and he really punished you for it.
Yeah,
it's not like, and Strat isn't intricate enough to say I'm going to leave my tight end to block to help on that. You just got to live with it.
If I could have chipped him, and worked on protecting, but there's no protecting against that. And if you roll that number, you're just going to get buried, and that really cost me. That part of the game, when I got sacked a couple of times, really was the turning point in the game where I felt I was losing control.
Mm-hmm.
And then I couldn't reverse the trend, which I had planned to do. If I had been ahead in the second half or close, I could have then changed things and completely changed my game plan. But to try to, after he made adjustments, because I knew he was going to make adjustments, and Jeff made adjustments right away. But I knew that at some point, if I was still in the game, then I can then turn back to something else and mix it up. It just everything went haywire with those sacks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was looking at Will Fuller and Devin Smith and the amount of times you threw deep to each of them throughout the year. I was curious why you threw to Smith so much more often deep than Fuller for even through the course of the entire season.
Good question, Nathan. Excellent question. I have a feeling that my primary receiver is one that draws attention, and I like to use them sometimes as a decoy and pick my spots for them and get more freedom with my other receivers. I'm kind of like you, Nathan. I like to get.
Hold on a second. I can't hear anything. Someone's putting my mic on.
Yeah, there's
Hey, Larry, could you mute your mic? Maybe it might be coming from you.
Okay. I hear a dog, though. I don't have a dog, but
Michael.
yeah, I'll mute it.
Oh, it's Michael. We can't mute the host.
Larry, you're fine.
I figured it might have been a decoy thing. That makes sense. I was just curious if.
No, that's an excellent point because you'd think I would go to Fuller. I thought in this game with a 6 on him, and he's probably seen what you saw, Nathan. And I respect the coaches in this league, so my strategy is based around they know me as well as I know them. And so I thought, well, he's not going to expect me to throw a lot to Fuller with a 6 on him. So I thought I'd throw more to him than I normally do today with a 6 on him.
Well, I could understand it today. I just looked through real quick during the game and saw you threw like 48 times to Smith in the regular season deep and like 4 times to Will Fuller. And Fuller's got the better card, so I figured you had to face at least a couple games where Fuller had an equal matchup, or maybe even a better one, depending on if someone liked to put a corner on that card that they double with. So I was just curious what the thought process was. In today's game, they were pretty close as far as their chances.
Yeah.
Like one combo and a half or something like that difference.
Yeah. So you try to go against the grain as much as you can. And it was a case where I saw that freakish card sitting there in the 5th round.
Yes. Right.
And I needed something to offset Fuller. And that's how Smith just fell. He was a critical part of my team.
Absolutely. I mean, you picked him up in the last pick of the first day, basically. Pick 149.
Yeah.
And to have such how many times do you pick up an impact player that late in the draft? So thought that was a great pickup to offset against Fuller. And it's kind of, like you said, it's kind of the element of surprise. Everybody knows who Fuller is. Who in the world knows who Devin Smith is unless you really look at the card? So I would see why you would defer to him deep. It's one of those things where he's just everybody looks to double Fuller. They wouldn't think to double Smith. And he had like 21 yards of catch for you this year.
Yeah. And then having Cole gets me when I'm inside the 20. I just bring in Cole, and I have something to go with Fuller nicely there too. So it got real well. But this is a strong league.
Hey, Michael. Jeff's in the lobby waiting for us to let him in.
There he is. Oh, okay. Sorry, Jeff.
Jeff, they were bad mouthing. I was sticking up for you.
Dave hacked you and kicked you out.
Yeah. He just wanted to get in one more cheap shot, if that's okay with you. Just kick you while you were down. So, Jeff, with your 3 white set, we were talking a little bit to Dave about how he has a quirky card like a Devin Smith with a 5 deep, basically. And you've got a Fuller who obviously is going to draw more attention. It's a better card. And it's also more of a name. And maybe you kind of forget about Devin, especially if you don't.
Right back.
Especially if you don't know the cards. But you also have a stud receiver too in DK Metcalf. But you were able to spread it around. I looked at your stats, basically. I mean, you got Boyd with 100 catches, but you've got 4 other either receivers or running backs with 70 this year. So I think he jumps it again. It's like Jeff's gone.
Jeff, do you remember when you were first and goal at my 10-yard line?
I'm sorry. I think my ugly mug is breaking my phone here for this broadcast. I couldn't hear anything for a while, and then I was locked out, and so
Can you hear us now?
I missed about 2/3 of what you were talking about, but I can hear everything now. Yeah.
Okay.
Dave, ask your question again.
Do you remember when you got 1st and 10 at my 10-yard line in the second? I think it was the second half.
Okay.
Did you?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay. Well, I saw your game that the guys announced in Tampa Bay, and I saw it twice. Twice you ran an end run, once with Carson, once with Johnson from the 10-yard line, and I thought, he's gonna he's at the 10-yard line now. He's gonna run, and you didn't. You passed it and nailed me on that one.
Yep. I mean, again, it's all about trying to get away from your tendencies, right? And
Right.
especially recent tendencies, because they're obviously the easiest thing to trace. But
well, I watched that. I watched the broadcast by Mike and Nathan, your game over and over, and it really got me a feel how you call defense. So that was really helpful just to watch that that video to see how you call your defense, because you can see the numbers, look at the stats and everything, but to actually see how it got. But you do such a great job with those 2 6s in the middle. You rush it sometime. You fill the flat pass zone sometime. It's brilliant how you coordinate the use of those 2 linebackers, the 2 4 outside linebackers. I really compliment you on just an outstanding job of maneuvering those linebackers.
I appreciate that. A lot of it's luck. You're going off what you're feeling at the time, and the same. I try not to do too many of the same things, but of course, you want to lead people to go at your strength and let it play itself out. But
as Branch Rickey said, luck is the residue of design.
We always say in bowling that I'd rather be lucky than good, 100%.
Yeah.
So Jeff, after the crazy first game that you had against New Orleans, did you think for a second that you would be 1 game away from winning the Autumn Wind title?
No, absolutely not. I went back and listened to both my other games as well, just to kind of see what I was doing at certain spots. And I was cracking up at Dennis's commentary at the end for me there, where there were a couple of times where Dennis was like, I wish I could break in here and tell him to call timeout or change his formation, but I can't really do that, he says, And so I was kind of laughing with that. But especially at the end when I mean, come on. I returned a fumble 35 yards with a minute 50 left or whatever it was to tie the game. By the way, can my field goal kicker stop missing extra points? Holy smokes.
I was going to say, I thought you were going to lead in. I don't know where the Uber Bowl is being played, but is there time to go pick up another kicker by chance?
He's so good, though. I mean,
he's a good kicker.
I picked him up in the 4th round, and
it was quite a coup.
And it was a coup, good one, dude. And he's really good. His returns are bad, but I'm willing to put up with that a little bit. But
sure.
But geez, the extra, missing the extra point 11. I'm like, I think he missed 7 this year.
He's telling you to go for 2.
I felt really bad, Jeff. That really hurt deeply. I felt bad for you.
Well, that's what happened at the end of that New Orleans game. And Dennis was like, no, it's too early. You got to kick the extra point. I'm thinking to myself, and I had made my mind up that if I had scored a touchdown, I was going for 2, regardless.
Wow.
Because the rest of that game had gone so terrible for me that when that happened, I was like, I'm playing with house money right now. So
yeah,
let's just go for 2 and take the lead now. So
and look what this house money has done. One game away from the championship. That is so exciting. And I mean, it's easy to look ahead and see what's ahead of you in the bracket. Basically, you've got two-time champions. Exactly. And a guy who basically is the returning champion.
Yep.
I asked this question the last time. When Dennis won the last game, he was going to take on the winner of my game against Dallas. And I tried to get him to commit to see which opponent he would rather play. Hopefully Dennis is on here. So which opponent would you like to see in your Autumn Wind final?
Well, I don't want to have to beat Russell Wilson, so I'll say Dallas.
Oh.
You don't want Dallas. You don't want that excellent. Trust me, you'd rather face average pass defense than excellent pass defense.
I've played 2 excellent pass defenses already in the playoffs. So.
Oh, nice one.
What's a third?
There you go. Well, you just might get your wish, because that's one tough team. I'm not expecting a win tomorrow.
It's not a wish. I just don't want to have to beat Russell Wilson.
Yeah. See, I'm really happy for you, Jeff. I know you haven't been in this league for too awful long. It's been a pretty fair amount of time, but there's a lot that have been in this league for 17 years. So it's exciting as a person who's only been in this league for 5 years to see somebody who's relatively new that's going to get their first crack at this. And I'm really, really happy for you. I think it's been a great run. And I know even if you're staring at a team that's 9-7, still, though, when you're looking at a coach like this who's been playing this since the game was invented, it's kind of daunting. It's daunting. And so I think last week after you watched two muffed kicks where you basically handed Tampa Bay 2 touchdowns, you're probably thinking, well, you know what, maybe this is when things are going to run out. But I think this is a good team, and I think it's been a charmed team on top of that. There could be something really special for you here in about a week.
Yeah, like I said, when I got in the league, it was, obviously when we all get in the league, we usually get terrible teams to start, and mine was no exception. So I knew it was going to be, a long road to rebuild, and I only made the playoffs once going into this year, and it was just like, gosh, I want to get into the playoffs, again. And then it was like, now I want to win my first playoff game because I hate to not win a playoff game, and so it was almost like the same thing. It was house money after that. I'm like, I got my first win, so then it's just throw caution to the wind.
It's a great ride. It's a great ride. But you made good moves that have put this team in contention. I mean, you've earned it. And you're, like I said, the third best point differential in the entire league. It's funny. You're 12-4 with that differential. It's hard to say you're a sneaky good team, but I mean, seriously, the 4 losses that you had, 3 of them were playoff teams. One of them was you lost to Houston twice, and you only lost by 7 points combined in those 2 games. In the game against me, which you lost by 11, Carr threw 3 picks and had a sack fumble. So, I mean, that was a fluke. This team very well could have been 13-14 wins. So this is a sneaky, sneaky good team. You're going to be a tough out come next round, no doubt about it. And you're coaching them up well too. So I mean, you got the team and you got the ability. You can do this.
There's only one more round left, right? So
that's exactly right.
Win or go home in that one too. So
you know what? And you get a medal. I mean, what more could you want, right? You've already made it to the medal round. That's more than I could say. Dennis, anything else you want to add?
Nope. It was a fun game. I'm glad that it was 2 good coaches made it as far as they did, and like you said, you're going to be playing in the last game of the autumn wind season no matter what. So well done, Jeff. Good job, Duke. I know that you wanted to come home with the win, but that's not a team that you normally expect to make to the conference championship. So well done to you as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, you scare everybody, Duke, basically. Commissioner, anything you'd like to add? Larry, anything you'd like to add?
The commissioner's on the line? Wow.
Yeah.
There he was there.
Whoa.
He's very quiet, but
You guys made him mute himself. He might be talking right now. Remember?
Larry, you got to unmute yourself.
Yeah, playing
sorry,
big,
guys.
nice background
Still
noise.
muted. Jeff, congratulations. Dave, great season. You guys both are a credit to our league, and thanks so much for the fine performance tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for being here. I'm surprised the commissioner's here. Oh.
Well,
He made all the games.
Yeah, Larry's been here.
He's actually
Larry's been
working
here
on your
for most of them.
medal right now. He's kind of chiseling your name on there, so that's good.
He's usually sleeping right now. He gets up at like 3 in the morning, doesn't he?
This is
Yeah.
an
No.
exciting game.
There is a draft tomorrow. That means that Larry will not sleep at all tonight.
Oh, okay.
You're exactly right, Dennis. You're
That makes
exactly right.
That sounds right.
Nathan, anything you want to chip in here?
Yeah, Jeff, you're wrong. You want to play Seattle. He's got 5 fours in coverage. So even
That's
though
what I'm saying.
that's who you should root for.
No. Nope. I can't.
Dennis
be
is a
Russell.
wolf in sheep's clothing. Let's be honest here.
He's scared of Russell. He knows the magic.
He's scared of Dennis. He knows what he's scared of. Hey,
I heard Russell Wilson wasn't happy with Dennis, or was that Pete? I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, he doesn't like getting sacked in autumn wind either. So he's on me to get some better pass blockers.
He doesn't like any of his coaches.
I'm going to go out and trade for Aaron Donald in every league I'm in.
Oh.
There you go.
hey, Duke, when we were first doing this, me and you were on broadcast a long time ago, and I've played several games against you. You're a great coach, and I've learned a lot by talking with you. I think the fact that you made it this many games with a team that, is just probably a 9-7, 10-6 team. You're a dangerous coach, And congratulations getting this far.
Thank you. Well, if
And Jeff, I enjoyed playing with you again this year too, buddy. And I wish you the best. For all the new coaches, I'm rooting for you, all right?
Michael, if you need me tomorrow, if you're going to broadcast, I'll do the game with you.
I want everybody to jump in tomorrow. Everybody come right back in. It's just a watch party. We're all having a good time with this.
I would love to jump in, but I have to change a sump pump at my church tomorrow. So
Oh, that sounds
not much glory for the winner here until.
Well, technically, there's glory in that. You're right.
A sump pump? No, there's no glory there.
Wear shoes that you don't like.
Wear everything that I don't like.
Yeah.
Pants, shirt, sweatshirt. Well, anyway.
All righty. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and close everything down. Guys, thanks for coming in. We'll do it, like I said, 5 o'clock Eastern tomorrow, Dennis. Is that right?
Correct.
Wait, I wanted to show Dennis the Seattle lair down here. This is my man cave with all my Seahawks stuff. So
there it is, boys.
Little junior there.
Michael, click on his box, Michael. So if you click on Jeff, he'll be the main focus, and we'll all be able to see it.
Or since you're a Rams fan, you could decide not to.
Now click on Jeff. Click on just Jeff.
I'm clicking on him.
Double click on him, maybe.
Well,
oh, that's fine. Good enough. There you go.
Good
Perfect.
enough,
Now let's see it again.
You like
one
that
more
mural?
time, please.
Nice.
See that mural down there? We got a little junior action over here.
Nice.
You don't live in the Seattle area, do you?
Oh, you see the Derek Carr?
Derek Carr.
fat
Derek Carr
there?
makes an appearance.
Look at that! See?
Very
And
nice.
we have the season ticket stuff there. I get for that.
Man,
So, yep.
I better not ever leave the league because we know what's going to happen. You're gonna take over. You'll be the new Seahawks.
I was thinking
Looking
about
good
that.
there.
I'm like, if there's 2 Rams in this league, why can't there be 2 Seahawks? And I'm thinking,
You know, there actually could be. You could be like, the New England Seahawks or something like that. Oh, there was a Miami Seahawks.
There
The AAFC.
There actually is a college, the Wagner Seahawks,
That's right.
and they're in
I've read-
Delaware, which is around here. So,
Very nice.
Yep. Yep.
So think about those. We'll get double Seahawks in the league. That'd be cool.
Just get a bunch of zeros on your O-line and you can kind of play like
all right.
Oh,
All right, Mr. Ram.
Nathan taking a shot.
Well, I'm a Rams fan. I live north of Seattle.
okay, I'm gonna come back with a shot. How many Rams are there in the league?
How many?
3?
What?
2? There's like 2 or 3 Rams teams, right? I don't think
At
any
least-
of them's been.
At least 2.
There are 2.
Okay, so I don't think any of them's been in the Super Bowl though, right?
Oh,
Yes, they have. In fact,
Oh, okay.
the St. Louis Rams went twice, consecutive years.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry.
Gary Nagata.
Gary Nagata, 2005, 2006.
All right. Well, my Rams Seahawk trash talk is not working. So
yeah. Thanks, Larry. I knew he was on here for a reason.
Nice. You gotta practice a little more.
Actually, it's that picture of Griffey back there. It's killing me. So,
I like
There's
Griffey.
2 of them there.
yeah.
I actually watched a lot of Mariner games.
Thanks, Jeff.
But, they never win.
Mariners-
So don't worry about
they're-
them.
well, what's your anti-Griffey thing, Larry?
No, actually, I'm in a baseball league with Jeff. It's my first baseball experience. Other than I played the game many years ago, but this is the first league I've ever been in. And Jeff runs a fine league. He picked up Griffey as part of the protection based on your team, and he's actually in. I think he's like 16-9 after our first block of games. He's kicking the butt already too.
Yeah.
So it's a problem.
Nice.
We got to
Nice.
fix that.
Because unlike the real Mariners, I actually drafted a pitching staff. So my pitching staff is actually pretty good. So
Very cool. So you guys are playing retro. What season did you start with, or what season are you in now?
we're 1989.
Nice. Very cool.
No,
Golden age.
Yeah, 99. It's just his rookie year.
So that's his rookie year.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And I traded for the father, so I had them in the lineup, and everybody's
Wow.
waiting for them to go back to back.
Oh,
Nice.
man. That's cool. That's very cool.
So, yeah.
All right, guys.
Boys and
Well,
girls.
thanks again. Bye.
Again, Jeff, that was a great win, Jeff.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah, nice job. And thanks, Michael, for setting this up.
Thank you, everybody. We'll be back on the air tomorrow, 5 o'clock Saturday, and everybody come back in and join us for another watch party. Jeff, congratulations to you. Duke, congratulations. That's a culmination of a great year at 9-7. Nathan, thank you again for joining us. Larry, as always, thank you for this great league. We're very, very thankful for it. And
Thank you, Michael. Great job you did tonight.
We had a good time. We all had a good time. Let's be all back tomorrow at 5 o'clock. We'll bring this broadcast to you. So that is your final score. So New England will move ahead here after a 23-14 victory.
31.
What was it?
30-14.
It was 30-14. Sorry. Yeah. 30-14 final score for New England. So the number 3 seed out of the AFC will march on to the Autumn Wind Championship, and will face the winner tomorrow between Dennis Crowley and his Seattle Seahawks, which is the number 1 seed in the NFC, facing off against the reigning Autumn Wind champions, Mark. That'll be Dallas Cowboys, who are 13-3 as well. That game will be on at 5, so everybody come on board and join us tomorrow. Again, thank you so much for listening to this broadcast. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you get into Stratomatic football. This is the way I found it. Great league, and we look forward to our championship game in the NFC tomorrow. Everybody have a great night. Stay safe. God bless everyone.
Dennis, good luck.
Hey, thanks, man. I'll need it. Take care.
All right. Have a good night, boys.